Hello and welcome to this session in which we will discuss the topic of subsequent events in a SOC engagement. Now this same topic, subsequent event, is also covered in a traditional audit. Well, guess what? SOC engagement and traditional audit are both an attestation engagement. And this is why I always recommend that you take your auditing exam before you take your information systems and control. Nevertheless, we are here now. Let's get going. The first thing you have to understand is we have the end of the field work. So the end of the field work could be December 31st, X4. Then from the end of the year till maybe it's going to take a month and a half, 2 months, it depends. Let's assume at 2/15 X5, the report is issued. Why it takes time? Well, sometimes the report needs to be reviewed, and we're still collecting some evidence, waiting for some final information, so it may take some time. During this period, things could happen. Subsequent event. This is what a subsequent event is. Many things could happen. This is the subsequent event period. Then sometime or oftentimes, things happen after the report date. So post February 15th, things would happen in this period that might affect or may not affect any information in that report. Those are called subsequently discovered fact period, and this is this period. So the first thing I wanted to show you is the different period. So when we refer to them, we know what we are discussing. So let's go ahead and get started. Before we proceed any further, I have a public announcement about my company, farhatlectures.com.
Farhat Accounting Lectures is a supplemental educational tool that's going to help you with your CPA exam preparation as well as your accounting courses. My CPA material is aligned with your CPA review course such as Becker, Roger, Wiley, Gleam, Miles. My accounting courses are aligned with your accounting courses broken down by chapter and topics. My resources consist of lectures, multiple choice questions, true-false questions, as well as exercises. Go ahead, start your free trial today.
So transaction or events may occur after the engagement period. The engagement period is the field work, but before the report of the service auditor's report, which is the report date. That could have a significant impact on the description, the suitability of the design, the operating effectiveness if it's a type 2 report, or the management assertion that we are covering. In these circumstances, disclosure of those events and transactions may be necessary to prevent report users from being misled. So what happens sometimes is we have to make certain disclosure. Certain disclosure of what? Of these events. In these transactions, we have to add them to the description so the report does not mislead the users. So the service auditor really is required to inquire of management about whether they are aware of any such events. If they exist, the service auditor should apply appropriate procedure to obtain evidence regarding the events. So if any events occur that have influence on the description, suitability of the design, the operating effectiveness, or the management assertion, well, we have to kind of see what is that going to do to the description. How to gather evidence, because we need to gather evidence. Well, the service auditor can gather evidence regarding the operating effectiveness by reviewing various reports. They would include internal auditor's report. We could look at their own actual internal auditor's report that covered the subsequent period that could give us an insight into the internal control operations and issued identified internally. And that issued identified internally could be relevant for us. We could look at other practitioners' report. For example, the external auditor or consultant who have also examined the entity during the same subsequent period can offer an external perspective on the entity's control. That might also give us more information about this period. Regulatory agencies, if they issued any reports issued by relevant regulatory agencies can highlight compliance with regulatory requirements and any related control issues. That's another source of evidence. Professional engagement report. Again, as we mentioned, consulting, advisory, any sort of professional engagement report that could give us information about the entity's control environment. So what we need to do, we need to review this report to help us as service auditor assess any changes in the control environment or identify any issue that might affect the effectiveness of the control since the last engagement, since 12/31. So what could be some examples of these issues? Well, let's assume the company implement a new IT system. So after the audit period, audit means the engagement period, after the fieldwork, 12/31, the organization might implement a new IT system that fundamentally changes how data is processed and how security controls are applied. Well, this change would necessitate a revision of the system description to accurately reflect the current environment. So this is an example of a subsequent event. Or we have a significant regulatory change, a new regulatory requirement or significant changes in existing regulation affecting the service organization that occur after the audit period could impact management assertion about compliance. So the organization might need to implement new controls or modify existing ones to comply with the new regulatory demand, which should be reflected in the system description. Those are examples. So each of these events and similar ones requires the auditor and management to reassess the relevance and accuracy. Are we still in good shape? Are we still on time in terms of accuracy of the information presented in the SOC report to ensure that the report continues to provide a truthful and a fair view of the organization control environment? Now, what are not relevant information that we need to include in the system description? Acquisition by another company. Yes, if the service company was acquired, well, it's a significant business event, but it may not immediately affect the controls. That's the assumption here in system description, especially if the acquisition occurred near the end or after the reporting period. Why? Because they're not going to make that changes that quickly. That's the assumption here. Or if there's any operational disruption due to natural causes, major operational disruption caused by weather, or natural disaster, though it's serious, they're typically viewed as temporarily and exceptional, and basically everyone is aware of them. They do not necessarily reflect on the design, implementation, or operational effectiveness of the entity's control as described in the SOC report. These type of events are generally considered outside the scope of the report time frame and are not indicative of an ongoing operational or control environment described within the period of the report. So those, just FYI, if you get on a multiple choice, you would say not relevant. Now, when a significant subsequent event comes to light, the service auditor should ask management to include this event in either the description or in the management assertion. So that's the impact on the SOC report. Now, if management declines, I'm not going to disclose it. Well, if left undisclosed, it could mislead the users on the report. And if that's the case, what should the auditor do? Well, one thing, you can modify the report. You may need to amend the report to include the information about the event to ensure the report remains truthful and complete. Or if it's a serious issue, if they're declining purposefully, they're hiding something, if the issue is severe enough and disclosure is not made, the auditor might consider withdrawing from the engagement to maintain professional integrity and compliance with auditing standards. So this is the impact of the subsequent event on the SOC report. And we're talking about from fieldwork up to the report date. Now let's talk about subsequently discovered fact. What's their impact on the SOC report? And the subsequently discovered fact are things that occur or we learn about after the report date. Now bear in mind, after the report date, the service auditor is not obligated to continue evaluating the description of the system, the design suitability of the controls, the operating effectiveness, or management assertion, because they're basically done. However, if new facts emerge after the report has been issued, the auditor has responsibility to respond appropriately to these facts. So let's assume we said the report was on February 15th. Let's assume on April the 15th, tax day, we learned from a news article that there was a data leak from this company on December 20th, year X4. So what we learned is we did not know about this data leak when we were engaged in the field work, but now it's discovered because sometimes the leak is not uncovered until later. Now we discovered this. So what is the responsibility of the auditor under those circumstances? Well, the auditor must use their professional judgment to assess whether the newly discovered fact, if known at the time of the report, might have influence. So let's assume the engagement is about the security. Now, We said, we issued the report and the criteria was security, and we said, it's unqualified opinion. Now we know that this leak happened. Would that change? Would that influence our conclusion of the SOC report? That's what they have to ask themselves. The auditor should determine whether these facts existed as of the report's date and assess their significance to stakeholders. We have to go back and think, okay, if we knew about this data leak, would it change our opinion? Because if it did, then we have to kind of do something, talk to management. We might have to do something about the report. So what do we have to do? The auditor should discuss the new fact with management and potentially other relevant parties who are relying on the report to gain understanding of what's happening. We might have to do additional procedures. If necessary, the auditor might have to perform additional procedures to determine whether the SOC reports need to be revised or we should keep it the same. So we just don't let it go because this is important. If there was a data leak we were not aware of, maybe we were not aware of other things. So we have to study that case, say what happened on December 20th. Is it a one-time thing? Is it something that we missed in their security framework? This is what we have to determine. Also, we have to communicate with users, with report users. Well, decision to notify based on factors like the time elapsed since the report was issued and the proximity of issuing a subsequent report, the auditor might decide it's necessary to inform current or potential report user about the new fact. So let's assume we said this report was issued on 2/15/X5, and they do this quarterly. So this field work was 12/31/X4. So every quarter, basically on a quarterly basis. So the next report will be issued sometime, I don't know, April 15th, or let's assume semi-annual. So the next report, the next end of field work will be June 30th, X5. So should we go back and change the report, or we should just wait, and when they issue the report later on, maybe July or August, the new report would reflect that? We have to decide on that. In essence, simply put, the auditor roles in managing subsequently discovered events involve evaluating their significance. How significant are they? Verifying their existence during the report time frame. We want to go back and determine, yes, the leak took place, and deciding on the necessity of corrective action. What should we do? Or notification to ensure the continued reliability and accuracy of the SOC report. We have to determine if that report is still reliable, or if we have to inform the users that, look, in the light of new information, you should not be relying on this report. We need to revise the report. You have to decide based on the significance, based on the existence condition of this event as of the fieldwork. Let's take a look at this multiple choice question from farhatlectures.com. A service organization experiences a major flood that destroyed part of its data center a week after the SOC report issuance. What is the auditor responsibilities regarding this event? Do we have to reissue the SOC report mentioning the flood? And the answer is no. We don't have to issue the report mentioning the flood because it's a natural disaster. Assess whether the flood impacted the reliability of the control evaluated in the report. No, it should not. It should not impact the reliability. A is out, B is out. Notify all report users immediately about the flood. The assumption is this is public knowledge. You don't need to do that. No action is needed as the event occurred after the period report. Yes, I would say no action is needed. Natural disaster, there's nothing you can do. It happens. It's not changing the description or the controls. Therefore, no action is needed. What should you do now? You want to go to Farhat Lectures and look at additional MCQs that's going to help you whether you're studying for your CPA exam, Information Systems and Control, or some other professional certification. Invest in yourself. Good luck, study hard, and of course, stay safe.